Greetings, GMAN 4A, and welcome to this week's recap. As always, joined by Hammersub.
Hello everyone, not as always, but this time again.
Yeah, good point. You weren't here last week, were you?
No, sadly not.
That's alright, we had Eldar, luckily. Let's just get right into it, because, oh my god, I forgot to go into the actual thing. Looking over the teams, just as I did a second ago while setting this up, why do you guys not take your levels? It's very sad.
They hate us.
They do. I don't get it, man. Either way, let us take a look at the development of the ASCII Rats. Finally here. ASCII Rats, they got a grand total of 1 level on ASCII, who is MNG. Right.
Yeah,
so he didn't
it's
take
a
the
dirty
level.
player who is, yeah.
You don't take anything on a double. Please, for the love
Sneaky
of God,
git!
please don't. Like, I've had this conversation with Eldar last week because there was another dirty player who had a pending level. Basically, we went on a rant on why, Sneaky Git is bad. Don't take Sneaky Git. We're guessing this is a normal, and I'm guessing that'll be kick.
I'm actually, I have the honest opinion that Sneaky Git isn't as bad as many people claim it to be.
It is though. Because on maybe a normal, I can actually accept it as normal on something like a goblin, but on a double, it's completely bad, just garbage.
You can use it on pro elf lineman with dirty player and Sneaky Git on normals.
Yeah, I don't hate that per se, but there's better things out there.
I think it's pretty cool because you normally wouldn't, there are a lot of turns where you don't foul, and with that you can just foul non-assisted just to see you might break armor anyway, and you don't run the risk of getting sent off.
But you do run the risk of getting sent off if you break armor.
Yeah, but that's what you're trying to achieve. So you can foul and can guarantee only running the risk when actually breaking armor, which is what you want.
And then you'll get like a stun, and then you'll get sent off anyways. I have seen scenarios where it's been fine, but I've seen a lot of scenarios where it's been garbage, and that's the issue I have. Because I've seen, let's take Wrestle for example. I've seen Wrestle be, obviously amazing. I've seen Dirty Player being beastly. I've seen Mighty Blow killing, people left and right. Have you ever seen Sneaky Git, and going, you know what, this Sneaky Git player really did some work this game. Really did.
Yeah, but it's not like doing work, it's about enabling the option to just non-assist that foul every turn when you normally would just foul in 3 turns. Without running the risk of getting sent off because you're not breaking armor unassisted.
I see your point, but at that point, wouldn't you rather have Wrestle? Listen, let's just put this case to rest. Otherwise, we'll literally be here for another half an hour.
Welcome to the weekly skill discussion thread.
Yes, yeah, perfect place actually. Not sure if the podcast had this conversation yet. Sneaky Git versus not Sneaky Git.
I don't think so, because most people agree on it being bad.
Yes. Either way, this rat rolled normals because he ignored doubles. Would you take Wrestle or would you take Kick?
I would take Kick with the gutters he has. He can easily capitalize on a good kick.
Great, we're in agreement then. Moving on. Eldritch Ambrosia Runners. Did they get anything? They got one of their linemen killed, but other than that, nothing. So let's skip over you guys this week.
And they have a MNG on the thrower with leader, so he's down to 2 rerolls next game.
Oh, that's right. That's
is it an MNG? Let me check. Yeah, it's MNG. So that's quite a big deal, but not. He's basically missing 1 reroll, but he has still another perfectly fine thrower, or even better thrower.
Basically. Still.
Yeah.
4 stun Dwarf Teknik. let's take a look. Oh Jesus, they brutalized some. Oh god, we'll get to that later. They got 2 levels. That's Roger Craig got guard.
Rolled a double, yeah.
Wow, they both rolled doubles. Roger Craig and Ronnie Lott.
Oh wow.
That is huge.
So now he has 3 guard and
A Mighty Blow piling on. Are you sure this is an elf team? Like, this elf team right now has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strength skills.
Yeah,
okay.
That's kind of crazy.
So that's like huge. I'm sure that'll. You know how at the beginning of the season we were like, this team is the witch elf, and that's basically it. Well, now it's actually shaping up to be a team which is more than just the witch elf.
Yeah.
This is actually
it's also
looking
making
nice.
like one turning pretty like way easier with a lot of guard involved.
Yes, and he has MA8 and sidestep, which is nice.
Crazy.
Then up next we have
Mazdamundis Heirs.
Mazdamundis Heirs. Lizards. I'm facing lizards this week and I'm terrified. They got 1 level on Galax and they had a Saurus die. Always unfortunate. So Galax.
Which one died? I think didn't he have a stand firm?
Yeah, he had a stand firm guard that busted. Saurus that died, I think. I'm pretty sure it was the movement busted. I'm pretty sure he had 2 movement busted Saurus. So I guess that's one way of recycling that. Then Galax, he gets guard. So that's nice. Very. I mean, it's a pity about Gatatog, the Saurus, but I'm pretty sure he was movement busted, so it could be worse. Like you could have lost Break. Right? Well,
yeah, he really could have. I mean, he's not losing a key piece like his Saka or his Blitzer, so just a generic Saurus, which is exchangeable at this point.
Sucks to level them up, but you know how it is.
Yeah, maybe a touchback, and he can score like early.
It's a possibility. Essinge Howlers. Essinge Howlers. Open up their last week's match real quick. They got 8 level on Disco. Guard on the Black Orc.
That's good.
Yes, finally getting some development, but that still leaves 2 Black Orcs.
Did the thrower had a save throw before? Yes. Or did he get it last week when I wasn't there?
He had it last week.
Ah, okay, because I don't remember it.
Pretty sure he got it last week. I mean, it's a really weird pick if you ask me, but if you're going for the Orc passing game, for some reason, I mean, guess, well, it gives you options.
It's a weird pick on a Orc thrower, but it's not a weird pick with having accurate and edgy up already.
Yes. So this is actually like pretty solid thrower. But it's only MA5. It's only IG4, so like.
Yeah, but I mean, you can basically long bomb on a 4+, I think.
Plus long.
Yeah, because you 2+ a long bomb with IG5 accurate and strong arm, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so he has the 75% chance to long bomb, which is quite good. Just as an emergency plan, also having a movement 7 and an IG4 receiver. It's not your game plan, but it's a strong like emergency option.
Yeah, it is. But like his retrieval, if you think about it, isn't that great. Yes, he has 1 IG4, but as soon as that IG4 is in like a somewhat poor position, that's all of a sudden like an IG3. Or maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, the IG3 is also fine. I made quite a lot of passes with my Amazons, and it's working most often.
I'm making passes with my high elves, and Agi like 3+ passes scare me so bad.
They scare me as well, but you usually make them at a point where you have no other option.
Right. Like, honestly, I don't think that Orc throwers have that many good skills to take anyways. It's like you take block, and then maybe you take kick off a turn, and then all of a sudden
I
you're out
think
of
they
like.
have you take block, kick off return, then fend.
Well, really, fend though?
Yeah, fend is a good skill on your ball carrier because it's protecting you versus a frenzy. And usually when they cage diving and they can't follow up, they are based by other players and can't just make the extra step afterwards after blitzing a ball carrier.
I mean, you don't follow up on a sack because you'll catch the ball 100% of the time.
Yeah, but sometimes that's what you need or want. I like fan on ball carrier. That's what I'm saying.
I'm sort of digging the thrower. I think it's funny. I think it's interesting, and that's honestly important to me.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's fun. I think it's actually pretty good. And I really like it. Gives you just an extra option.
It'd be a lot worse if you didn't have like stuff like Agi for blitzers, but yeah.
It's funny that his thrower is actually named exactly as my Amazon thrower in my team.
Yeah, it's true actually. Do you think he took a player from like every single, I don't know, like Div 2 team or something?
I don't think so. I don't recognize any of the other names, and if you look at his model, like the cap he's wearing is like somewhat resemblance to
Mad Max.
Furiosa's face paint, like having black on the upper head.
Right.
I think that might be the reason why he took it. Maybe, not sure. I don't think it's because of my player. I think it's because of the outfit of the orc, actually.
Right. Nagarythe Nightstalkers. The other crazy guard-filled Mighty Blow team.
Those elves. Oh, damn it.
They got 1 level and 1 death. Gasprior, the Lino. He got a guard. Oh my god. Kidding me? So yeah, he gets guard, but he had to pay dearly for it because suffering the large step tackle blitzer guy.
I mean, but the large step tackle is just like normal skills, and blitzers. You can carry the ball on blitzers or just blitz with them. So they are quite easy to level. Or not easy, like not exactly easy, but it's not hard to level them.
And he has the money for it, 210k. So.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any. Yeah, he does. Never mind. Moving on. Normie. I was about to say he doesn't have leader, which is weird for rerolls, but I'm actually just blind. Here we go. Heavy Hitters 2.0.
That team.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. They got no levels and no injuries.
They don't need levels.
Yeah, I guess they don't really. I mean, the runner could use some levels, and so could the one Longbeard, and the troll. You know, this team needs levels. Doesn't need it, but likes levels. The strength 4 Longbeard doesn't have guard.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course they need levels, but they are already at 19k TV. But he is actually he can buy a stadium upgrade, and then getting an enhancement maybe soonish.
He doesn't have any. Yeah, he should definitely get the anti-rock one.
I mean, he needs to get a level 2 first.
Yes. Yes.
And he should change his cheerleaders to the dwarf ones. Priorities.
Don't. Oh wait, the dwarf ones aren't that bad. It's the orc ones that give me nightmares.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're horrible.
Oh god. Smart models. Eldar.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of levels, nothing except an MNG on a Hobgoblin.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, doesn't care about
trimming TV. This team is so TV efficient.
It is, and he talked about that last week too. How his Hobgoblins to him are in a perfect position.
Yeah, they are like a 0 SPP except for the ball carrier, which you need, and he's a G4. I'm like, what?
I could see a dirty player being a thing, but I get where he's coming from. Right. Hogwarts Exiles is going a lot quicker than usual. Hogwarts Exiles. I guess we'll have to spend more time on the coming matchups.
This team.
Yep, it's interesting. Ronald leveled, so he is piling on now. Ouch. He did have a goblin die, but he doesn't care.
It wasn't it 2 heads or something? I think I remember.
No, it was just a normal goblin.
Because I might confuse it with another Underworld team.
Possibly. Onwards. We see Tooth and Coast. Now this team got absolutely brutalized by the Dark Elves. Like, this team actually... Like, what does it have left?
Strength 5 tree. Damn it.
I mean, his like war dancer is like pretty good. Sort of.
Yeah, but like the edgy 3 is so annoying because you can't dodge away if you fail to knock down on the frenzy. You don't want to leap. It's really annoying.
So in total, he had 1, 2, 3, 4 players die and a lineman niggled.
Ouch.
He had his Agi 5 die, his carrier. His sprint catcher died. A loner died. And then his decent war dancer died. You know, the one with strip ball, tackle, sidestep.
Yeah. Just like over a third of his team are strength 2 pieces.
Yeah.
He's in such a rough spot. But I mean, if he's getting some money soonish, he can keep the treatment for a while. It sucks being strength 5, but he's still grab and block. And I mean, strength 5 is just a regular big guy. That's totally fine. He has the most expensive players already. And like having loners on elves isn't too bad because you can just put him on the line and to prevent further attrition. And he can basically induce a wizard most games, so he can make use of the war dancer. So it's actually like it's looking good at first glance, but I think they can easily win multiple of games with just inducing the wizard and using the rookie war dancer to leap in.
Yeah, I mean, if any teams is gonna get, you know, absolutely mangled, I guess it might as well be, you know, Wood Elves. Get that wizard, maybe get something along the lines of Eldril, if you're really a lot of TV down, and, I mean, Agi4 is Agi4.
Yeah.
Right. Then with 2 thin codes, the BreakNec Rampage with 3 pending levels makes me very sad. Why are you the way that you are? Let me take a look if there's any other...
Oh, double werewolf level. Damn. And a flesh golem level.
BreakNec Rampage. Are those 3 the only levels? Yes, he had a zombie die. Lord Voldemort. That's it. Flesh golem. Obviously double. If it's a double, you take dodge. He would have taken that already. So I'm guessing this is a normal.
But then again, I think on a normal it's also pretty clear that you take guard.
So I don't know, maybe he rolled like 6 plus 4. And at that point, do you take movement? You might.
Nope, you don't. Because the flesh golems you used to put them at one spot and then leave them there. I don't. And you need so many other skills. Like you want mighty blow, you want tackle, you want dodge if you get a double, you want guard obviously. So I think you don't really want and need movement. Because like getting movement and then only being movement 5, which is slow as well, doesn't really help much.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
And all your zombies are movement 4 as well, so you don't really get to benefit too much of it.
The werewolf, I think tackle is the obvious choice here. So I don't think you take anything else. On doubles, I'm not sure. I probably wouldn't take piling on, because at that point you have a 220k piece lying on the ground, and you can.
I would take it. I saw so many piling on wolves that like made the games for the coaches who had them.
I mean, I play elf, so I don't have the most experience with piling on. I mean, I guess, I mean, it would be good, but I think it's so scary because that wolf is easily the best player on this team, and you have it lying on the ground. Like, that will get no assist fouled. It will be.
Yeah, he is, but I mean, like, I would take it anyways. Like, you have basically, you get killing potential on a level that kill teams like Chaos and Nurgle have. And just on just one player, and you can defend one player if he's going down. You have enough zombies and fodder, and you can move flash golems around, especially on defensive drives. You're threatening so much that your opponent can't really safely advance with just singular players.
Right, and you know, piling on, they also have agility axes on normals, so jump up is easily within reach. But on normals, I'd probably take tackle. I think tackle,
yeah, for sure, 100%.
Yeah. There's a case to be made for dodge if you really want that survivability, but why are you getting this guy hit? Anyways. And then, you know, there's Jack Lycap, who, I mean, if he rolls doubles, do you take another Mighty Blow?
I think you do with wolves. You don't want guard because you don't want to place them around. And just having two claw Mighty Blow players is just too good to pass up.
Yeah. And on normals a good dodge. Alright, shall we move on?
I think so, yeah. Sure.
Only Foals and Hobgoblins. Let us take a quick look here.
That's the Bull Centaur carrying team, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it is. They got no levels and no injuries.
Yep, looking fine. Yeah. Can't complain. 2 strength 4 blockers, 1 claw mighty blow strength 4, and 2 pretty good developed bulls. Can't really complain at all.
It is nice. Not for the captains. Not for the cat. Here they are. They have an MMG on one of their veterans.
Yeah, that's the triple second squad.
Yeah, quadruple basically. No, actually triple because the one is well, never mind. Yeah, I mean not too much to note here except for the MMG.
Yep.
You might not even be too sad about that because it might give you a wizard depending on next week's matchup. Like, for example, last week I got my best player, MNG'd. He's like a tackle, mighty blow, blitzer, and I'm up against lizards, which you'd think I'd be sad, but then again, it also means he doesn't get a wizard. So
yeah, sometimes like MNGs are going actually more in your favor than it's hurting you.
Basically.
So yeah, I think this could be actually fine. Like losing 150k. What is he playing this week? Some foreshadowing. Let me check.
4-stun Dwarf Teknik.
Versus Elves. Yeah, I think that's fine. You take it.
Yeah, you would. I mean, he would have a wizard either way. But yeah. Anyways, quickly moving on because schedule is something we'll talk about afterwards. Horror All-Stars. Horror All-Stars. We have. Let us take a look. Horror All-Stars 1-1 against Untitled Cats. They got no levels and no developments. No, I don't know, deaths, whatever. Alright.
Alrighty.
Hype. Let us now take a look at the next week's matchups. Schedule is what it's called. First up, we have Horror All-Stars versus Smart Models. Eldar versus Demirg. Well, we talked about how trim this team is, right? And there's no way around it. It is very trim. This Chaos Dwarf team. It does a lot for not that much team value. And our All-Stars, they have like... We keep saying this, and you know, I keep harping on it, but they don't really have that much development. They have some potential, but then again, potential isn't going to win games. There's, as usual, this one really weird ghoul. And for the rest, I mean, There's not much. You have 2 werewolves, and they both have like they have less than 2 skills each. I mean, the one has 2 skills and the one has 1 skill. Then the flesh golems are basically as standard as they get, except for the block of the strength 5, which is pretty big, yes, but I feel like this team is honestly going to get shredded. Or
Yeah, I think so as well. Also having
golems.
2 ghouls which are quite vulnerable, and everyone on the Dwarf team having tackle. Especially the bulls, like you need to take care of the ghouls against the blitzing bulls, which can have quite some reach. And also the strip ball isn't going to affect Alder too much because he has sure hands.
You know, we
and
forgot.
He has no one guard at all, and yeah.
We forgot to talk about last week's matchups.
Oh, that's true.
So, do we just like do that now, or do we just like do next week's and then do last week's?
I mean, it doesn't really matter what you do first.
We'll just continue with this. We'll pretend this was the plan all along. So, right, I put my money on Eldar.
Yep, same as well.
Okay. Up next, we have Hogwarts Exiles versus Heavy Hitters version 2.0. This is the Dwarves versus the Underworld. Like, I want to say that Dwarves take this, but these Underworlds, I'm pretty sure they're leading. They're first on the mission. These Underworld have actually been like wrecking things. Actually they're 4th, which is still pretty good. It's 2 points above the Dwarves. But yeah, I mean, it's a good coach and it's a pretty good team, but Underworld, by virtue of their existence, struggle against stuff like Dwarves because, well, you have goblins, and goblins rely on their dodge to, well, dodge. And if you don't have dodge, well, then you can't reliably dodge out anymore. Not that an Agi 3 dodge is too reliable either way.
I think the dwarves have the edge, but it might come down to the difference between AV7 holding and Claw Mighty Blow working for the Underworld. So it could go either way, and being decided by maybe heavy casualties on one side.
Yeah, I mean, the Underworld, they do have that block, Claw, Mighty Blow, Guard, Troll, and they have that pretty crazy killer now. So they could do some damage, but I'm giving this to the Dwarves.
Yeah, favoring them as well, but seeing quite some chances for Underworld, because like if Underworld removes one player, it's most likely big value, and removing 1 or 2 goblins. Actually, they have only like 2 goblins for this game,
well,
so that's
a bunch of
tough.
loners, right?
So. I would actually like prefer inducing some star players, like a chainsaw or something like that. So you get a bench as well, and not only like a wizard and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you actually induce players to increase your bench and being able to compete in the casualty game.
And they do get a wizard, and they don't exactly have the worst retrieval options I've seen in my life. I mean, that thrower, beast. Yeah. So it's like, you know, the wizard maybe does work, then all of a sudden this is a whole different game.
Yeah, it's looking quite like it can Underworld have the tools with the inducements to win this, but if dice would be 100% even and both coaches are at the same skill level, I think the Dwarves will win this.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Next up, we have Nagarythe Nightstalkers, or 2 Thin Coats. This is one Dark Elf team, which is in great shape, versus the versus the Wood Elf team, which has been absolutely stomped. Yeah, I mean, like, this is a good Elf team versus a really beat up Elf team, which you'd usually say, well, the non beat up Elf team will take this, and I still think that's the case. But you have to remember, the Wood Elves, they get a wizard. And as we said, wizards can definitely turn the tide of the game in this matchup too. So
yeah,
I think the Dark Elves take this just because they have like a solid they have a solid, good team. They have a bunch of guard. They have mighty blow tackle. They have a couple of good, just standard players. So the only thing the Wood Elves really have going for them is the Wizard and potential other inducements. So that's why I think the Dark Elves will take this.
Yeah, but that's what like Woodies are known for, just being down like by quite a bit and then just getting the Wizard, pop the ball and deal it and score. And all of a sudden they are in the driving seat, and so the Dark Elves are like feeling the pressure maybe and making some mistakes.
The thing about that is that, some of the more competitive Wood Elf team, yes, they're very beat up, but they have like 2 or 3 like crazy players, right? The playmakers. And the rest of the team exists as a meat shield to protect these like 2 and 3 players. But this Wood Elf team doesn't have that. The best player on this Wood Elf team is the rookie War Dancer, which is like really bad. Like a lot of other Wood Elf teams that you see doing crazy stuff at the higher divisions, they have like an Agi 5 War Dancer who can like go in with his Agi 5 and just wreck face. But this like Agi 4 is good, but from my experience trying to retrieve with Agi 4, it can definitely be dicey as soon as something lands in like 1 or 2 tackles.
I'm not saying he will like reliably turn over and score, but even rookie War Dancers, that's what makes like Wood Elves so strong, is just that War Dancers, even if they die, you just rebuy them and they're good out of the box. And he doesn't have like Agi 5, Agi 6, like easy retrieving and stuff, but it's definitely possible, and he has the option to like win this on the Wizard turn. Yeah, it will be tough, and I'm also favoring the Dark Elves, but it's not like a chill and easy win for the Dark Elves for sure.
They'll have to be careful, but if they can be, if they manage to be careful, I think the Wizard can be, sort of like nullified-ish. Make sure there's no like field scatters, stuff like that. The standard, but
yeah.
It could go both ways, but I see the Dark Elves taking
this. Yep, I agree.
Essinge Howlers versus BreakNec Rampage. This is the Orcs versus versus the other Necro team. Now these Orcs. Now this is interesting actually, because these Necro have quite a lot going for them. They have a lot more development on their wolves, and they have a couple of bending levels too. So this is a bit more of an even fight. I'm not sure though, because yes, the wolf is good with its strength or mighty blow claw. Could go full can opener on some orcs. But then again, yeah, I'm not sure, because I don't know. I'm never sure with Necro. Like I played them myself, and I don't know, they were weird. I had a hard time against stuff like Bash, so I'm not sure.
I think it's pretty even, because Orcs have the guard advantage, then again Werewolves have the Mighty Blow Claw, but then the Orcs can remove the other strength, like AV8 zombies. They also have a dirty player. So I would think it's pretty even, and if I would have to, I would actually see this being a draw.
Yeah, I can see that happening. Although, well, the orcs, this orc team is actually surprisingly decent at doing stuff like 2-turning. If you think about it,
yeah.
Which is sort of funny. But yeah, I can agree with you. The orcs have the guard and the strength advantage, but they also have 2 rookie black orcs, which can definitely make all the difference. Yes, the Necro will be outstrength, outguarded, but they have the removal potential, sort of, if Claw decides to do it.
Yeah, sure.
See, I think this
like
is
I'm saying this will a 1-1 or 2-2 even. If casualties are going crazy, I can see this game going 2-2 with the thrower and the edgy 4 blitzer being able to score quickly, and on the other side the movement 9 werewolf being able to score quickly.
Yeah. Next up is Mazdamundis Heirs versus only Foals and Hobgoblins. Lizards versus Chaos Dwarves here. What do we think? I'm not really sure. Because, I mean, the Lizards, they have the strength advantage. And, you know, yes, the Chaos Dwarves technically have the Claw Mighty Blow, but they only have one Claw Mighty Blow piece. So what can make a difference, it's not gonna wreck their own whole team, in theory. So, I mean, I still think the Chaos Dwarves sort of take this, almost by virtue of them being Chaos Dwarves, and they're just so good. They have solid development on their blockers, even though it's mostly utilitarian skills and not removal skills, but that's fine, you know? It doesn't just have to be kill skills. This Chaos Dwarf team has more guard, it has, you know, the Claw Mighty Blow, it has the Bull Centaurs, which can definitely help, so, I don't know, I can see the Chaos Dwarfs taking this, even though the Lizards, they have a couple of things going for them. I mean, the Skink, mostly, is their, like, big thing, right? So the Skink can definitely make a huge difference. You know, doing, you know, 1 turns, if they can manage that. Doing stuff like, I mean, 1 turns, and then the scoring becomes sort of easy. So let's say the Chaos Dwarves score, they score. Then this Lizard team just 1 turns with that crazy Skink. And then it's the Lizard's drive, and they can score. All of a sudden, you know, the Lizard's just 1-2-1. I think it's close.
I would favor the Chaos Dwarfs because usually the advantage Lizards have is having strength 4 and a lot of guts, so being able to outstrength the enemy. But the Jaws have like 2 Bull Centaurs on strength 4, 2 blockers on strength 4, and as you said, the guard advantage and also removal potential against Soros with Claw and Mighty Blow. And also having the break tackle Bull Centaur who can hunt skinks if they aren't properly like defended or like trying to potato 2-turn or something. So I think he has the tools to deal with what the Lizard Man can like offer.
Yeah, I mean, I actually sort of forgot about the strength, believe it or not, but this Chaos Dwarf team isn't that outstrength even, and the guard means that they're definitely not that outstrength. I mean, it's 3 guard versus what, like 4?
The 4 guard, yeah, but also the guard is only non-strength 4 players, so
Yeah.
he can use the strength 4 and get the assist from the other players.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I can see the Chaos Dwarf taking this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then 4 stun Dwarf Teknik versus Not for the Cat number 1. Dark Elves versus Skaven here. The Skaven are missing one of their better players, which is huge, of course. And this Dark Elf team, as we said, it got some pretty crazy level ups last week. It is in a great spot. Yeah, I mean, the thing is that, do these Skaven have Strip Ball? Well, no, they don't. Why did they not have Strip Ball yet? That's something you need to get, because I was about to say, oh, they have Strip Ball. That's actually pretty huge, because this Dark Elf team doesn't have Sure Hands, but, well, they don't. So, I mean, I probably Dark Elves, because I think they have a more solid team. They have a bunch of guard, they have this, like, pretty insane Killer Witch, actually, which, you know, did some serious work on the AV7 of the Woodies last week. And yes, I mean, these Skaven have stuff like the classic Skaven 1-turner. The rest of the team isn't looking that fantastic.
Yeah, they don't have any Mighty Blow, so the Dark Elves have the advantage in the killing potential, and also Dark Elves having 3 tackle against Skaven is pretty good. And just all around having 3 sidestep, having a 3 guard. I think they are like well-rounded and having all the tools to deal with Skaven. Skaven having a strength 4 on a rookie lineman, which is like kind of bloaty. Yet until you get some development, having a claw on a blitzer who doesn't have mighty blow is also super good when he gets to the next level, but currently also a bit bloaty, especially against Dark Elves.
Yeah.
So I think like Dark Elves having the tool to win this, and the Skaven need like a few more levels to like get the most value out of their level ups.
Can't forget once again that the Skaven do get a wizard.
Yep. True.
Which is pretty huge, of course. But you know, they don't really have any solid retrieval skills. They don't have their 2 heads is gone. They don't have any big hand. So yes, you know, RG4 retrieval is still above average to say the least. I mean, the Dark Elves can still make life hard with some proper ball positioning. So Skaven with a wizard, always pretty terrifying, but I don't think it's gonna decide this game. Well, it might, but I don't know. I still think Dark Elves take this.
Yeah, 100% my favorite as well.
And it's like, this witch, I'm willing to bet some money that this witch is actually going to like wreak havoc on the Skaven team. And you know, no matter how good your team is, you're not gonna do very much with a wizard if you only have like 4 players left on the pitch.
Yeah, that's true.
Just my 2 cents.
Yep, totally agree.
Then, lastly, we come to ASCII Rats versus the Eldritch Ambrosia Runners.
Which will be a very interesting one, like really, really interesting.
Will it be though?
Because they are at even TV. They, like the Skaven team is looking good with all the pretty good gutter runners and a mighty blow pomber, like a pom tackle piece with pro. He doesn't have claw, which he doesn't need in this game. And also all the claw pieces on the Underworld team are not too helpful there, but like they have killing potential. Both sides are AV7. Both sides have some crazy movement, edgier players. So I think this will be quite a tough one, and this is a game where I think you regret on not having tentacles on your troll.
Yeah, you probably really do, don't you? Do they have a? Let's take a look if like the ASCII Rats have like, I don't know, Wizard Stadium. Wouldn't shock me.
Let me check. I'm already on them.
Elf pitch.
Yep. Best one category.
That's a discussion for another time. Right, so they don't get a wizard unless they're willing to spend a bunch of their own cash, which, I mean, they might. Maybe. They both have a bunch of money. The Rats in particular at 160k. Probably not though. It should be noted that the Underworld only have 2 rerolls. They are missing one of their strength 3 players, so that's gonna be a lot of a decent amount at the very least of strength 2 running around.
Yeah, that's true.
Do they have Shurans? Yes, they do.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I can see this being even, but ASCII Rats, you know, these are leading the division, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. So my money's on them.
Yeah, like just looking at the teams alone, I would say it's equal, but yeah, with how ASCII Rats performed, like Monsieur performed, I can agree with you that he is probably keeping his top spot at this point. But I'm really interested to see this. I might be like, if you guys let me know when it is, I might be watching it or even cast it, because this looks like a really interesting game for me.
We can agree on that. Shall we take a look at last week's games now?
Yes, sir.
As we totally planned. For All Stars 1-1 versus Not for the Cat #1. You know, this is actually a nice thing to do, actually, not starting off with this, because now the team's much more fresh in mind. So that's the
Yeah,
thing.
that's actually true. Totally planned.
Yeah, as I said, totally planned. Statistics, you know, Rats not having a lot of ball possession, that's sort of normal because they go for the quick scores usually. Wow, the Horror Sword did not roll a lot of dice today. In terms of, you know,
I
average
really know
stats.
how. How? What? Like how does this work?
What do you mean?
Jesus.
The dice?
Yeah, like.
I mean,
Wow,
if you think about
they
it,
rolled like.
they had one dodge, they had like one pass, they had, well, a couple of pickups, but I guess they didn't really have to dodge. They did.
I mean, like the Reds rolled like 6 times as many dice as the. Jesus, as the. I'm actually like seriously confused how this can happen. Wow.
I mean, how many blocks succeeded? 22 blocks from number.
I mean, if the necro block armor and injury rolls are rolled by the opponent, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, they probably like blocked them all the time, and then Skaven on their turn just dodged away and tried to run away. So that might be the reason why we have so like less amount of dice.
Interesting thing to note is that the Rats made 22 blocks. They got 0 removals. Just rat life, I guess. But don't they have like a claw blitzer? They do, don't they? So, I don't know. Guess claw sucks.
Yeah.
Made the pass, which is interesting. Might have just been a vanity pass though. Not for the cat number 1. Dodges, a little bit below average. Going for it, above average, so you know, you take the good with the bad. In terms of armor, pretty bad as you would expect. Apparently there were some start player. No wait, this is the Necro team with the weird shadowing player, isn't it?
Yep, it is.
That's right. Yeah, pretty bad catches, bad pickups, bad passes. Interesting that this was a tie because it looks like the Necro had an easier time than the Skaven, but then the Skaven do Skaven things.
Probably, yeah.
Right. Only Foals and Hobgoblins losing against ASCII Rats. Here's an interesting game. Fair bit of ball possession, pretty equal on both sides. Although the removals were definitely in favor of the Bull Centaurs.
Yeah, but they only removed like one important player, which is the Seka, who doesn't really matter if he like with sure hands on the opponent team. And the other one were like 2 loners and a dirty player, which like doesn't matter too much, I think. And in this matchup, it's actually like super risky using your Bull Centaur as carrier.
Yes.
I would be interested in like seeing if he actually used it or not, because failing to pick up the ball on the first turn means the gutter runners can storm your half and just apply immediate pressure. Basically. So it's super risky using a Bull Centaur as a ball carrier in those cases.
I mean, it's almost to the point where it's a 1 in 4 to almost lose the game.
Yeah, somewhat.
I mean, that's maybe why he lost, you know? Tried to pick up with the ball, didn't. Skaven score, he got the ball back, they score. But then, you know, it's the Skaven drive and they score. 2-1, grind.
Yeah, or like they just made it a classic 1-1 each. Like everyone scored in his drive and then Skaven just made it 1 turn.
It's a thing, yeah.
Might also be a thing.
Definitely, because ASCII Rats have the natural turn. Plenty of things that could have happened. In terms of rolls, you know, pretty average. Yeah, there was a lightning bolt, which definitely does a thing.
On like the Skaven side?
Yeah, the Skaven had a lightning bolt.
Oh yeah, that's. I think actually with the lightning bolt and all the stuff, it's actually quite surprising. It's only 2-1, but that might be like due to the injury rate.
Yeah, actually, their armor was actually not horrible. At 60%, that's above average. Yeah, interesting game. Seems to be.
Indeed.
5 pickups is actually interesting, because that tells me there was this like at some point the ball was on the ground and there was this like fight over it. I'm thinking.
Wow, yeah, that's true actually. Yeah, probably like there might be like a brawl where they like knock down each other like consecutive turns or something.
Also a thing. BreakNec Rampage 2-1 versus the Eldritch Ambrosia Runners. God awful MVPs for both teams there.
Yeah.
Wait, hold up. I didn't know they had a scale alignment tie. Did we not see that?
I'm not sure if you mentioned it. Can't say it for sure.
Let me check really quickly. Yeah, I think I said that they had a goblin die, but it was actually alignment. Oh well, either way. Had alignment die, that's not great, but at least it was a rookie one, even though it ate an MP. Life, as they say, goes on. Statistics, even ball position. Removal wise, it was definitely the Necro's favor, as you sort of expect, don't you?
I think in this matchup, actually, the Underworld have a higher killing potential.
Is this the Underworld team with the block cloud roll?
Yeah.
Is it?
So he can remove the flesh golems and the blitzers being able to blitz like werewolves, ghouls, everything that's moving too far away from the team. So I would have put my money on Underworld, seeing both of the teams here.
I know, possible. Let's go back here real quickly. Dice rolls. We had pretty poor armor on the Necro, but then again, they were up against like Claw and stuff like that. So
yeah.
You're not shocked to see that. Pretty good dodges. Alright, going for it. Eldritch Ambrosia Runners. Apparently the Necro had a lightning bolt. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Necro had a lightning bolt. So that's the thing.
Yeah, that might be like the reason for them winning actually.
Oh. Oh my god, 100% dodge ratio? With 33.
And how many dodges?
33.
What?
33 out of 33 dodges worked.
That's kinda crazy.
This is an ASCII 3 team, ladies and gentlemen. Like, what? That's actually sort of insane. They had better armor than the Necro, which is equally sort of crazy.
Yeah, that's a wow. I'm actually quite impressed here.
That is, like, actually insane though. Oh well, they lost. 2 think codes 0 to the Forced and Dwarf Teknik. Well, I think we can all see how this happened.
Do you check it in game or at rebel.net?
In game.
Oh Jesus.
I know.
Sending you the link in rebel.net. Give me a second.
I've seen it.
It's looking so brutal. Oh, Jesus.
I REBBL.net open on my other screen, so I'm looking at both at the same time. But
yeah, same. Wow.
Yeah, it was really brutal. We can guess how this happened. The Witch Elf just went absolute batshit crazy. Is basically how I think this went.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, 37 blocks, and they removed 14 players. That'll do it. I definitely think that'll do it. Like 6 armor breaks versus 25 armor breaks, right?
I think Gramzilla should like focus 100% at rebuilding and development in this season. And then I think with the amount of games left, he should be able to be in pretty good spot like for the next season after this one.
You know how I said last game that the Necro had a lightning bolt? I think it might have been the Underworld with the lightning bolt.
So the roll is also showing for the opposite team?
Yeah, like I'm confused because here it says that on the Tooth and Coats part, right? Lightning bolt won 100%. Does that mean that makes me think that it's the Wood Elves which had the lightning bolt, because they had less TV than the Dark Elves. I thought that it was, you know, something your opponent rolls, but I guess guess not. Doesn't matter. Lightning bolt.
I solved it. Tooth and Codes have the Magician Shop as inducement, so both players have a free wizard anyway.
There we go. I guess that's weird because only one. Oh no, Fireball. Forget it. Oh god, that's Fireball though. Looking at dice, they were. I mean, if you think about it, they were decent with the Woodies, except that they all got killed. So if they hadn't all gotten killed, 30% casualty ratio, then maybe this would have been a different game. But that would help though.
Yeah, it's crazy.
First on Dwarf Technique armor, not that much better than the Wood Elves actually. But I guess their injury and stuff ratio was a bit better. Their dodges were fine. They only dodged 4 times, which is interesting for an LT. And I think they got fireballed. A fireball which was only on 3 players, and they got punished for it because only one went down. Fireballs are bad, ladies and gentlemen.
Sometimes, if you are desperate enough.
They are. Here's the thing. I think a fireball is good when it's like 5 or 6 or 7, like Norse players or Amazon's players in like a ball around the ball.
I think because the problem with a wizard is often that you lightning bolt, that you can bolt it but it scatters often in pretty awkward spots, and you often hope pray for it to scatter on another cage corner and then scattering out. And I think you really wanna lightning bolt, fireball if, for example, you can hit 4 players and you feel confident enough to sack the ball if you hit any of those, only one of those. And then every other you get is a bonus. You shouldn't rely on getting 50%. I mean, it's statistically correct, but it often doesn't happen. But you hitting 2 out of 5 or 1 out of 4, if you are fine with any of one of those getting knocked down, I think you are quite fine using the fireball in those cases.
Yeah, I agree. Other than that, sort of standard dice. Not too many dice were rolled.
Yeah, I mean, not too many players will have to roll dice with.
Probably. Hogwarts Exiles. Mazdamundis Heirs. Mazdamundis Heirs taking that 2-1. Is this Priswilfos team?
It is, yeah.
Aha. The champion dethroned. Oh god, those MVPs. But yeah, we were right. It's DMA busted one. In terms of blocks, the Underworld had quite a bit more blocks than the Lizards, which is sort of interesting. It was almost twice as many blocks for the Underworld actually. 7 removal, well 8 versus 7. So the removal game was actually pretty equal, as you'd sort of expect. Well, with the block difference. Armor? Oh god, they were so bad for both teams. The Lizards had worse armor than the Underworld.
I mean, they have claws, so it's not...
Yeah, but you're not gonna take every hit with claw, are you?
I think, getting base, usually you can't reblock anyways, because you're most likely strength 4 versus strength 2, and most of your blocks are from troll or blitzes, and they have claws. So I think you take most of your blocks with claw.
I guess there's always a troll. There was an intercept by the lizard moon, which is a thing. I guess that made a pretty big difference, huh?
Might be, yeah.
Didn't this team intercept a pass versus the Woodies at the start of the season, which won them the game? What's up with these lizards and intercepting things? So that's interesting.
It's usually low edgy players that intercept because it's a 6 anyways. For some reason, it feels like it.
Yeah, That's actually like painfully true. I'm not gonna go on another rant about how I lost my play in playoffs things. Yeah, standard-ish game except for the intercept, which I think did a lot of good for the Lizards. Smart Models 2-1 versus Essinge Howlers. Not a
going
shock.
as expected, I think, but quite surprising that they have the same like casualty rate. Both removed 3 players.
No, well, no. Smart Models got 8, and the Essinge Howlers got 5.
Wait, then. Really?
It says it here in REBBL.net.
I'm checking it as well. It's showing me 3 injured players on both sides.
Looking at statistics.
Check. It's 4 versus 3 casualties.
In statistics, Smart Models 4 KOs, 4 injuries.
Yeah, KO. I just counted 4 injuries, so.
Well, Essinge Howler doesn't have 4 injuries.
Yeah, 1 got output. In the stats it's 4 versus 3 and both showing 3, so 1 got output.
Whatever, I'll roll with it, sure. Ugh. Yeah, alright, let's move on to dice rolls. Armor was exactly the same for both of them, basically. Going for it's pretty decent for the Smart Models, but then again, Foals. Wake Up after KO was slightly above average, might have had a babe. Lightning Bolts, once again. Question is, who the hell had this Lightning Bolt? I'm guessing it's the Mazdamundis Heirs.
Probably.
Is it the Mazdamundis Heirs? Probably, right? Yeah. So I'm guessing that, I guess, didn't really do too much. Well,
I'm
it's so confusing, man. I hate the way
Are we talking about lizards versus like underworld?
No, we're talking about lizards. No, wait. This is orcs versus.
Yeah, because you said Mazdamundis Heirs,
Yeah,
which are lizards.
I was still thinking about the other thing. Anyway,
you just got me confused there.
What's even more confusing is that I don't know who rolled this lightning bolt. Like, here's my thinking, right? An intercept is rolled by your opponent, right? Because it's a 6 plus. But the lightning bolt is a 2 plus, so it's probably rolled by you. So that makes me think.
Yeah.
That makes me think these chorfs had the lightning bolt. Let's just say that's that. That's probably one of the reasons.
Might have scummed it.
Well, remember that the lizards lost one of their better players.
Let me check. Alda has. He has still 140k. I don't think he scummed a wizard. He wouldn't be at 140k again.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's cyanide. They might just display it weirdly.
Yeah. Oh my god. These orcs failed pro 4 times out of 4. Nice skill, idiot.
That's how pro works.
Rolled a lot of ones there. Going for it, actually getting 11 out of 11. So I guess orc GFIs are god tier.
And that feels like my open matchmaking opponents, like throwing 20 GFIs turn 1 and none of them failing with only 1 team reroll for the half.
My favorite is like, it's turn 8 and I'm supposed to score. Let me just roll a bunch of GFIs with no team reroll. And not get punished for it.
Yeah.
Bad catches, but that might have been just like random scatters, so might not have been bad catches at all. Dodges, pretty average. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Yep, as expected, I'd say.
Yeah, probably the wizard doing some work here. Whoops. Now, lastly, we have the Dwarf versus the Nagarythe Nightstalkers. Nagarythe Nightstalkers actually taking this victory. Wait, they both had equal armor breaks? They both had almost equal blocks succeeded?
Yeah, that's a weird one, actually. Like I'm actually confused why the Alps could win this. I mean, not confused, but like only being a 0-1, because this means they would have to stall quite a bit, which usually doesn't go too well in the Dachel favor or elf favor in general versus dwarves.
I mean, they stopped this dwarves' drive without a wizard, which is a thing.
Hmm.
I think it was without a wizard. Yeah, it was without a wizard. So that's. I'm surprised they actually won this game. That's impressive. I mean, then again, the dwarves had 60% armor, which isn't
Yeah,
great,
that's
is it?
awful. It's awful.
Yeah, decent. Actually, pretty good going forward. I mean, god awful passes. This dwarf team apparently made 3 passes. Okay.
Yeah, they might have, like, after being down, they had to score quickly, might have tried to turn with a pass or something like that. So, like, not being, like, being under pressure and trying to score quickly to still win this game.
Sure, I mean, I guess.
Might be, I don't know.
Darko's pretty good pickup, although bad dodges. Saying that, you know, a lot of dodges aren't actually, you know, even 2 pluses for elves because they'll go like through tackle zones.
Yeah, that's true.
So, might actually have been average dodges, or they might have been pretty bad. Yeah, not great GFIs, but So yeah, this is basically, I mean, what's their armor? 63. They have better armor than these dwarves. Which,
It's the
which I
same amount
think,
of AV breaks.
yeah, I think that definitely helped the things, the dark elves. They rolled a lot of ones, but that was probably on their own armor, wasn't it? Yeah, interesting.
It's rough. It's just rough. But the dwarfs got quite a good MVP. Like, he's only the strength 4 guard players, only 1 SPP away from leveling for
Huge.
probably stand firm.
I can agree. Alright, shall we close this off looking at the leaderboard real quick?
Yes, sir.
I'm pretty sure Luke Lazy made this program to calculate the chance of specific teams going to playoffs. So I'll try and get that working. Maybe we'll use that in the next week.
Yeah, I mean, it's for all divs, right?
It's what?
Or was it for all divs or only one div?
All divs.
Yeah. So we just have to look it up.
Yeah.
Would be quite interesting.
Yeah. I'm not sure how you calculate something like that, but I mean, I'm open to anything.
I think it's like taking account the teams and then overall win rates and then just progressing over the weeks and like adding that stuff together.
Right. Anyways, leaderboard. As I quickly check, I haven't messed up anything in OBS. Nope, look good. First up, we have ASCII Rats. Not a shock here. Yeah, I expected them to be up here. And here they are.
This team, man, it's tilting me every
insane.
week.
That being said, they aren't, you know, so far ahead of the competition. You know, there's 3 teams which are really close to each other. That's Missa with his ASCII Rats, that's Redecore with his Mazdamundis Heirs, and Alduderino with his Dark Elves. So I mean, there's some stiff competition up here. That's interesting. Smart Models is Eldar, and its Smart Models, of course, not far behind. It's basically, you know, 4th to, yeah, I'd say 10th is actually really close. No, actually, no, 4th to 9th, I'd say.
I would say to 8 actually, because like 9 has already 4 losses, which is quite big.
Well, 9 has the same amount of points. Yeah, I meant, yeah. So you basically have this group of these 3, which are sort of, you know, in the main lead for the playoffs. And then 4th to 9th is like, there's a chance of them going to playoffs, although some real like crazy stuff has to happen at that point. So 4th to 9th is mostly, you know, Champs Cup. That's what it's called, right? Champions Cup?
Wasn't it something like Challenger or something? I don't remember exactly at the moment.
Anyways, and you know, that place is great because, well, it's maybe not as prestigious or as cool sounding as the playoffs, but doing well there definitely gets you promoted. And then from, you know, 10th to 14th, I don't want to say it, but I have to say it. These teams, they don't really have a shot at playoffs at the very least. Probably not at the, you know, new playoffs. These are more or less, um, you know, developments. This is the rest of the season is development for them.
I mean, like, it's also annoying to say, but those are the teams that didn't get the crazy stat ups and all the crazy levels that the other teams got. Some of them, like the Horror All Stars or the Only Foals and Hobgoblins, are looking quite good in like a season or two. But currently, the other teams on top were just the ones who got like the crazy level ups and the crazy development going with all the stat ups on like multiple stat ups on the same players or like ranked up across the board. So they it's quite like, it's not like only they were bad performing, but it was more like the other teams getting like this crazy stuff going for them, which they sadly didn't get yet.
Well,
so they should be going for development and aiming for next season.
Only Foals and Hobgoblins has 2 strength 4 blockers. But
yeah, that's the thing.
Pretty
like,
good, but then again,
it's pretty good later. But early you need like Claw,
Guard,
Mighty
Claw,
Blow,
Mighty
Guard, and it sucks to doesn't have it now. But like later, if you get like multiple strength 4 Claw, Mighty Blow, Guard players, then it's actually like looking really good for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's all we have for today, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, covered everything.
So yeah, that's it for this week. I've been Gunnerside with my co-caster Herringzord. Did I just say Herringzord? I meant Hummerset.
I mean, I feel honored, but
you're basically Herringzord. Don't worry about it.
I don't think so.
I'll delete this in editing. Don't worry. And
you can just beep it out.
Yeah. And we'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.